Sylph, can you explain what battery systems are in terms of energy efficiency?
Yes. So it's a buzzword at the moment, and for the people who have looked into it or are maybe have studied anything, chemistry or physics at uni, they have a rough idea. For the people who have not got an interest in the industry, it's just another word. It doesn't mean anything. So when we talk about energy storage, it's kind of as if we were talking about water storage. So when you think of a little house, if you were not connected to the grid for water and you couldn't just turn on your tap and have water and you pay your bills, you would need to have rainwater tanks or a storage tank, something like that. So battery systems are the electrical equivalent of that. It's like having, it's not the same, but it is like having a little bank of potential energy, in other words, and it's stored chemically. I won't go into how, but it means that whenever you turn on that tap or whenever you connect that light, you have got a certain knowable amount of capacity that you can draw from. So if you had a 1,000 litre water tank, you knew that you had 1,000 litres of water you could use before it rained again. Yeah. If you have a 1,000 kilowatt hour battery system, which is a massive, you can run, whew. You knew how much power you had. You knew
so
how
long
large
is this battery for an average family of four,
Yep.
3-bedroom house? What does it look like?
So if we go on an example of a 4-person, 2 adult, 2 children, little bungalowy style 3-bedroom house, where we're using a 45 kilowatt hour battery. If we were to do that with lead acid, it would be about the length of this table and about 1/2 metre high and wide, and it would weigh 1.5 tonne.
Wow.
So for a house, it's not a problem. You can put it on a slab or you can put it on the ground. It doesn't. You can't drive around in the car with that. The back of your front wheels will be up off the ground. So lead acid, in that example, is really good for off-grid houses. The reason that lithium is very popular for things like mobile phones and laptops is because you could have the same amount of energy stored in a much smaller package, up to 5 times smaller. So if we did the same amount of power in a lithium battery, we might be looking at half of the table by about 1/2 metre high. Mm-hmm. And that would run your little house for 3 days. Yeah.
I've seen those, the Tesla ones, and they're similarly sort of sized to those little small hot water services that are in offices.
So that's where there's a difference between grid connect houses and off-grid houses, and the battery systems are different as well. Because just like in our water tank analogy, if I've got water coming past the property and I've got a tap connected, I pay my bill. Let's just say that I have a header tank just for a bit of backup, and so I fill it from the street. Whenever the header tank runs out, I can just turn the tap on and refill it. I could get away with a 500 litre tank. If I'm out in the desert, I need a 500,000 litre tank to be able to make sure I could get through. I can't just turn the tap on. So battery systems are the same. The Powerwall, the Tesla systems, and a lot of the Redflow, a lot of the battery systems that are designed for just helping people use their own daytime generation, they're not designed to help you live through a week of cloud, because you can just charge it up from the street. So their whole purpose is they're much smaller and they're much cheaper, and they're trying to help out homeowners who have solar installed on the roof, are a little bit grumpy that now they're getting paid such a little amount for it, and they think, well, let's use it for myself. Yep. But I get home at work at 7, so I need something that's going to help me from 7 o'clock at night all the way until dawn. And that's what those battery systems are for. They're not designed to help you run out in the desert for a week.
So when you guys are doing projects where you're coming to install insulation, and you're doing this specifically because the family is interested in being more energy conscious, what are the other things that are commonly in place? Are they the families that have solar panels, or what are they using?
Well, generally, we're sort of up against the solar panel people, to be honest, and there's a bit of conjecture about what's the best way to go. I find that getting to the root cause of the problem, which is insulation, is the best way. So, but what we're finding now is people that have had solar panels installed are now going to insulation now because they're not wanting to, just waste everything that
Well,
they use.
that's the thing.
all
Surely
time.
it's better to have both.
So whereas before that it was just, either insulation or solar, now it's starting to get to that point where people are starting to realise and really want to have both.